We begin our broadcast with the situation at the front, where 78 clashes have already been recorded since the start of the day. According to the General Staff, the hottest spot is in the Pokrovsk direction, where the Russians tried to advance more than 30 times. The occupiers attacked 13 more times in the Kostiantynivka direction, made 11 attempts in the Kharkiv region, and 5 more clashes were recorded near Lyman. We will learn more about the situation at the front from our military correspondent Ole Kornienko. He is joining us live. Ole, greetings. The floor is yours.
Hello, Oksana. Let me say right away that not only the front line and the line of contact are under constant fire, but the cities themselves as well. Here in Donetsk region, just the day before, during strikes on populated areas, 2 people were killed here in the region. And actually, right now, I am in Kramatorsk. The Russians are attacking with aerial bombs and shaheds. Last night, there were constant air raid alerts and explosions. And unfortunately, we already have tragic news from long-suffering Kostiantynivka. Today, that city was attacked again with aerial bombs. At least 1 person was injured. Overall, I would say that in the past few months, the Russians have become more active, especially around Kostiantynivka itself. If before they tried to encircle it, now they are even attempting to occasionally break into the town itself. There have already been cases when our defense forces drove the enemy out of the outskirts of Kostiantynivka. The once thriving Kostiantynivka is turning into complete ruins. And what you see there is simply astonishing because almost nothing remains of the city. Every day it burns while a few apartment buildings remain. It's almost impossible to enter the city. Every road is shelled by the enemy with drones, artillery and guided aerial bombs. So to actually get into the city, I had to go on foot, and basically all I saw were scorched buildings. The city is shrouded, and throughout the city you can actually feel this smell of death. There are fiber optic cables on the roads, wrecked cars right in the city itself. The city is essentially on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe, but despite the danger, up to 6,000 people still remain there. There are neither utility workers nor rescuers. Buildings are burning, and I witnessed how the Russians hit one of the apartment buildings. It was burning and collapsing right before my eyes. And of course, no one can save such buildings anymore. They burn for several days and then turn into scrap. People don't just leave. Each person truly has their own specific reasons. Now, here is a direct and important quote.
Well, these are just scorched ruins here.
What can you do? I've lived here all my life. Worked at the same factory. Now that I'm retired, where would I even go and for what?
So what about Drushkivka? Do you know it?
Well, they found it, but what's the point? Drushkivka is not far from Kostiantynivka. It's gone too.
So it's basically and fundamentally impossible to achieve this here, isn't that right?
Of course.
In fact, the Russians are attacking not only around Kostiantynivka, but there is also heavy fighting from Lyman to Dnipropetrovsk region. The epicenter of the confrontation remains the Pokrovsk direction, which is the agglomeration of the cities of Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad. And also the Russians have once again become active in the Dobropillia direction, where our self-defense forces have been conducting a counter-operation for 2 months now. And in fact, if you look at the entire line of contact, the Russians' tactics are basically the same everywhere. They assault in small infantry groups, that's it. Literally over the past few days we have been observing this in the Dobropillia direction. The Russians have started storming, launching attacks in columns, trying to break through our defenses to reach their own forces who are currently surrounded. So far we have managed to hold back this onslaught and break up these columns even as they approach, when they are just starting to form up and move toward the line of contact itself.
Approximately 30 Russian soldiers per day is the absolute minimum confirmed by our drones, based on what we have carefully observed and documented. That is, with the help of strike UAVs. Mainly 80% of the enemy is destroyed by UAVs.
It's tough for the infantry right now because only 20% of the eliminated Russians are credited to them. And I'll say right away, coming back to Pokrovsk, nowadays getting into Pokrovsk, it's impossible. If you want to get there, you have to walk 20 kilometers and there's no guarantee you'll make it or survive. But our territorial defense units are trying to hold Pokrovsk, although unfortunately heavy fighting is already taking place on the outskirts of the city. Fighting is also taking place now in the Dnipropetrovsk region, where the Russians continue trying to advance through populated areas. In particular, right now they are making active attempts to break through to the large town of Pokrovsk. That's the news for now, Oksana.
Thank you, Ole. That was our correspondent Ole Kornienko reporting on the situation in Kostiantynivka and Pokrovsk, the epicenter of clashes with the Russians. In the Kupansk direction, since the beginning of this day, the Russian army has tried 3 times to advance toward the positions of the defense forces near Kupansk and Petropavlivka. 2 clashes are ongoing as of this evening. The situation in Kupansk itself is difficult. For the past several months, the Russians have been trying to capture it. How the Russian infantry assaults near Kupansk are being stopped. Artillerymen of the Burevy Brigade in our next Frontline report. As usual, throughout this segment, there will be a QR code on the screen. By scanning it, you can help the National Guard soldiers with drone detectors.
Early in the morning in the dugout, the commander of the self-propelled artillery crew, Petro, is making cutlets for the guys. While loading, Oleksiy is still catching some sleep. During the night, they had to get up several times on the command to battle. The Cat Jack was on duty both at night and now.
As soon as we took over, there was immediately a to-battle command. We engaged the enemy so they wouldn't interfere with our infantry rotating positions.
All logistics are now at the front. Shift changes, evacuations, delivery of provisions and ammunition, and mining operations only take place at dawn and dusk in the grey light. Petro can't manage to finish frying the cutlets.
Hang in there, Lyosha. Hold on.
The powerful self-propelled artillery unit known as the Gvozdika features a formidable caliber of 122 millimeters. Mass production of this self-propelled artillery unit began in the 1970s, right here in Kharkiv at the local tractor factory, KHTZ. Ready? Gun! Fire! The recoil here inside the self-propelled gun is tremendous. The echo lingers in the forest for a long time as this shell flies toward Russian positions.
Basically, any breakdown can be fixed in just a few minutes, you could say. There's no electronics here, and that's actually an advantage. In some ways, it could be a disadvantage, but in our case, it's a plus.
Now we can finish frying the cutlets. It's almost lunchtime, and they haven't even had breakfast yet.
This is Jack. He lives with us at the position all the time. We rotate, but he never does. He just never gets tired. He's in charge of the sabotage groups of mice so that the mice don't eat us here in the dugout. He's already gotten rid of all of them, but he's a real champ.
You rascal, all you do is kill something. Oh no, I just knocked a few down.
Mice here in the dugouts are a real problem these days. And not just in the dugouts. What is it called?
Like...
air guns. Air guns, right? Yeah, like that kind of pistol. How can you even hit a...
Mouse, tell me.
Well...
You can. Turns out you can, once they start crawling out. Everywhere, whether you can or can't.
And once again the order to battle is given. The mouse stays somewhere on the shelf behind the food.
Loaded fully with shrapnel. As usual?
Alright, we are now loading everything up for you right now. Please wait just a moment.
The crew commander Petro is visibly nervous. He runs out of the dugout and listens to the buzzing of drones scanning the sky.
Above all, it's the anxiety when you're waiting for battle. The guys, when they're at the gun, are always on edge. Once you come back, then you can finally exhale, maybe even have a smoke.
And chase after the mice.
The mice.
Fire! Fire! Are you truly ready now? Let's really go. Oh, wow, shot!
Hit!
Ready?
Sound. Shot. Take cover. Drone flyover detected. Abandon the vehicle, Lightning. Lightning turned toward the enemy drone.
Abandon the vehicle now. Move.
They always say just a minute, but it ends up being hours.
And in the field, it's like flies probably, or like bees. Does it make you want to work harder? Well, you know, we've gotten used to everything by now. You get used to everything.
You've had this all day today. It's either an alert or a warning, one after another.
Every single day is precisely like this. And even throughout the entire night, they consistently keep sending out alerts all night long without any cessation. They're extremely active. You can hear the buzzing of drones. It's constant. There are so many drones now, countless drones.
You can now clearly see a prominent QR code displayed on the screen. By diligently scanning this code, you have the opportunity to directly support the brave artillerymen of the distinguished 1st Presidential Brigade of Operational Assignment, which is proudly named after the esteemed Hetman Petro Doroshenko Burevi of the National Guard. This vital unit is actively raising essential funds for what they refer to as Chuyki. These are specialized drone detectors. Your contribution is truly needed and greatly appreciated.
Let's go. Change, let's go. Hooray, Lesha.
I did it.
I'm a scoundrel for today. Well, it's already the 5th in a day. They are strangling us from both sides. Shot.
Well, with mice you have an assistant.
Yes. Who?
Of you is more effective, Jack or you? No.
Probably Jack. Because he works around the clock.
And you get distracted by the cannon?
On a cannon, on a dream, yes.
Late in the evening, when the command to fight is given again, the gunners find Misha inside the self-propelled gun. Russians are in the sky again. Drones.
Into shelter, they said. Into shelter we go.
Maria Malevska, Alexander Brinza, Igor Serebrian. STB windows. The only news.